Hi, my name is Kristen Salandi, and today we have our first Remember When segment where we remind you, the people, about the achievements of the People's National Movement here in Tobago. Today we are in the community of Bethel where we highlight the Sesame Street Road Development Project, as we reflect on this highly impactful piece of infrastructural development. This project was completed in October 2021 without ribbon cutting or fanfare, but to the delight of the residents who were eager to speak with us about this transformation. But before we hear from them, let us hear from the then Infrastructure Secretary 𝐾𝐸 and other officials as they clarify some of the misinformation surrounding this project.
All right, so hi, we're here on Sesame Street, and every time I come here, I'm actually amazed that we have this road. This project came about, I remember when Assemblyman 𝐾𝐸𝐸 was still in office, and he was making representation for this project and actually Big Stick Gully. And when we came here, it was a narrow road. This entire area actually was part of a track. There was no road here. This was all bush. This was all a gully. As a matter of fact, you had to kind of hop down. I remember coming here straight from Executive Council with Mr. Hector. So I had on different shoes and everything, and wondering if we could pass hopping down. Was a little bit slippery at the time. And even the road at the top was much narrower. And part of the challenge, and my paws are raising now talking about it, there were a couple older folks in the area who needed to have urgent medical attention, and the ambulance could not even come to get them. And we decided, something has to be done, and something has to be done quickly. And I'm very thankful that the technical team was able to come up with a solution, and we were able to alleviate the concerns of the residents, create accessibility all the way through. The road goes all the way through to Orange Hill Road now. And it's almost appalling to hear that it could have been done for $1 million, because I've seen sidewalks done for $1 million under this current administration. And in fact, the reality is this entire project, this was a lot of green field before. It was a valley before. There were no roads. There was no road here before. So all of this is brand new development. The important thing as well, it was done by Tobago contractors using Tobago labor. And it was real, and that was one of the stipulations as well, that we use local content. So the guys in the area were able to work. I want to say a special thanks to Ms. 𝑘𝐸𝐸, because initially we were even looking at just widening the top of Sesame Street, but we were reminded of a very old plan to connect Sesame Street to Orange Hill Road, and we pursued that plan vigorously, and we now have the end product today. So I must say, 𝐾𝐸𝐸, Hector, 𝑘𝐸𝐸, all of the people in the area, because people had to give up land from at the front of their house to ensure that the road was widened. The contractor did an amazing job as well. And I think the technical team of the Division of Infrastructure at the time, they really lent a lot of expertise, a lot of time went into this project. So I can't say thank you enough. And I would call on anyone, come and take a drive for yourself and see where the good Tobago dollars were spent using good Tobago contractors and good Tobago labor. That's it. Okay, so one of the things we need to make extremely clear, while I was at the Division of Infrastructure, we picked up the mantra quality works for you. It meant that no matter what we did, we had to do it to the highest standard, the highest quality. And it meant that every single project from concept to finish went through rigorous project management, and that was designed to completion. So even for a road like this, it took a level of design management and even project management, because the slipper drains were done prefab or site, and even to ensure that we have the drains at everything at the right gradient. Surveys were done, the full works, and that's why even now you come here, you're not seeing much sign of any moss or settling of water, because the road was designed so well. You're not hearing of anybody's cars turning over, no accidents. I know of roads that were done by this administration where there were accidents on the road immediately after because of the poor design of the road. You don't have those challenges here. You can walk on this road safely. You can drive on these roads safely. When it came to the management of the finances for any project, I must commend the public servants who worked at the division of the time because there was so much oversight. In order for someone to get paid, and I just want to walk through that process so that people can dispel any thoughts that they had in their mind. In order for someone to get paid, one, there was we always did site visits, and the site visits included very often myself as the secretary, the administrator, the project officer, the management accountant, the monitoring and evaluation officers, along with a couple different engineers. We would visit every site. Once the site, we got to the site and recognized that the project was completed to satisfaction, then all of the documents were placed on file to the administrator and sent through again the project officer, the management accountant, down the line into accounting, so that there were never any discrepancies. In order for there to be any discrepancies, you would have had to have multiple public servants colluding, which was never the case, because there was never a time when, as secretary, I went directly to any public servant other than the administrator to say, do X or Y or Z. I respected always the role of the administrator as the chief accounting officer. I respected the technical expertise of the engineers, and I respected even the accounting officers who knew the processes that they need to take place for utmost transparency and accountability at all times. And I must say kudos to everyone who worked at the division at that time to make projects like these happen all over the island of Tobago. Tobagonians benefited significantly from this type of development, and it's a shame and a sham that we continue to now starve the local content, starve the local contractors, and even not pay legitimate bills for jobs like this that were done in earnest, where people expect now to be paid after contractors would have already put out funding to pay the workers. We're now suffering our local contractors, and that's why you're seeing a grinding to a halt of the local construction sector, because they refuse to pay the local contractors, and instead of fleeting away the funds to those contractors from Trinidad.
We now speak with a representative of the contractor that facilitated this project via audio interview. We have Mr. Orland Welch, construction manager from Warner Construction and Sanitation Limited, here to discuss the Sesame Street Bethel Road project. Hi, Mr. Welch.
Hello, Ms. Landy.
Well, I have some questions for you today. First being, it is being purported that an independent valuator valued the Sesame Street Bethel Road project at $1.9 million. Could the project have been completed for that sum?
No, the project could not have been completed for 1.9 million TT dollars. If you are to consider the actual scope of work, the volume of work that was done on the project was extensive. And as such, a proper measurement and a proper scope of work would have to be utilized before an estimation is done for that project.
Thank you for that information. Another question. It has been said that a subcontractor was paid approximately $479,000 to do the entire project. Is that true?
No, that is not true. Let me make it clear that no single contractor was responsible for executing the entire project. The provision of material, labor, equipment, and plant fell under the responsibility of Warner Construction. There were certain aspects of the project that was subcontracted, but only as a labor-intensive contract. So as such, contractor would have been given a scope of works, measured scope of work, and he would have been paid for the works that he executed. Everything else related to the project was carried out by Warner Construction, including the supply of all material, all plant, all equipment, supervision. All overheads were carried by the company, naturally, and the greater part of the preparation of the road, the cutting, the filling, all of that was undertaken by the company. So no contractor was responsible for executing that project. So it is not a true statement to say that a subcontractor executed the entire project.
So we can safely dispel that the project could not have been completed for a sum of $479,000.
Oh, no. That was just labor for his aspect of works.
Okay, thank you. Why was concrete used as opposed to asphalt?
Well, the project again was a design-build project. And the THA at the time looked at two options, taking into consideration the conditions of the location, the topography, particularly the steep slopes, and also the amount of cutting and filling that had to be done. And at the time, the THA proposed for the use of fiber-reinforced structural concrete as an alternative to asphalt. Now, either of the two options could have been used, both were on the table, but the THA at the time, after engineering considerations and other, they were the ones that made the decision and proposed to us that we use fiber-reinforced concrete. Additionally, at the time, there was a countrywide shortage of bitumen supply. Hence the reason why the THA was forced to look at the two options.
So between the two options presented to THA based on the shortage of asphalt, was the concrete option more expensive?
Yes, the concrete option was more expensive, but because of the fact that the company was already tied in on the project, the company did not charge any additional for the use of the fiber-reinforced structural concrete over the asphalt.
So in essence, the project was completed at a lower cost, but good value, good quality.
Yes, definitely. And I believe the stakeholders, all stakeholders were satisfied with the execution of the project, especially when you consider where we took it from to what it became, as far as I'm aware.
Thank you so much, Mr. Welch, for this interview.
You're welcome, Mr. Landy.
Now here's a look at what some of the residents had to say.
Yes, I'm Cordova Mills, Bethel, Tobago, born in Sesame Street. I used to live right on top there. You couldn't pass here. It had plenty roads you couldn't pass in. You had to pass through a little track, a little drain. You understand? Because what you do here is very good. I love this. We want more of this. Need more of this. You understand? We need more leaders like them. You understand? With this project here, I show at least 20 to 30 people work for about 3 months. You understand? Them, yeah, right here in this street, this one street, imagine, and there's plenty more like this will happen within when he is actually in thing, you understand? So everybody in Bethel get work. People who don't work, I know get work. You understand? I ain't even know about paving road. I pushing shovel, I get through. You understand? I tell you, I get through. It's goodness, you understand?
Well, my name is Mary Toby, a resident of Bethel for more than a decade or decades. And I live at Sesame Street throughout my lifespan in Bethel. So there is where I live. I was the one who was instrumental in getting this road cut out onto the Orange Hill Road. And the reason why, when you come home in the night from Pantent, you can't get nowhere to turn. And as I say, if something happen down in the ridge there, you have to wake up the whole ridge for people to move their car.
I'm Samuel from Bethel, Beverly, Tobago. Long time I born and grow here. Found out the issue with Bethel landing. Sesame Street area was, well, from up on the junction there was I kind of block off from up there on the hill there, and I access to go out to the back of Montauban there and thing, you know. But I know it was a road on the map to fix something for the past years and things, since I know myself and things. But now as certain things go through and people come and get through and fix the road and thing, and they try to open the road and thing. Alright?
Good evening to the residents of Bethel and environment. We are at Sesame Street right about now with Mr. Ansel Dennis. We're dealing with truths and rights here. This Sesame Street here did want to build that rule for about approximately 20-something years and counting. Now, when we have the road, we were so rejoiced that we could not pass out to the next side and flow ever be because we're seeing progress around the community. Now, you want to use it as a political milestone that's stating that they did a little piece of road and they call this type of money and using that as a milestone, as a political. This is the part of bothering we as the environment we inside about here. Okay, you're catering for like if it's down at the bottom alone that concrete went. It's from the top of the hill. Asphalt was here from the top to the bottom. Now the bottom of the hill, if it have concrete there, it will be beneficial for no skating, no accident. So how would the hill stay rated because it was a bad. Down there was naturally forget me word, but we call it a gully.
All right. So it had no existing road there?
You have no existing road.
Totally new road.
It has been profiting us for the longest while. Because people are saying the asphalt and all ain't good, but watch about now, it is standing up. So the problem which we are getting, because we're not dealing on political side or this side, we're not dealing with that. We're dealing with the work has been done, pay the contractors their money. They want to use it like if was P&M was inside, they wanna be paying the money. So you all come in, say you're coming to fix things, but like you all is on fixing things. Fast what we get to see about now, because no set of contractors not getting it, no work going on. You're seeing one set of crime taking place around because this is impact. This is a very serious thing taking place with us inside of this village here and Tobago as an environment. We need work around the village. We need things to be done. We need people crying out for walls to be done.
A short while ago, about 2 years or so ago, things was happening in the community, right? This is not the only project that was done in Bethel, right?
Quite correct.
Right? We did a number of roads, we paved roads, we did some retaining walls, we did some drainage works. Who were the people getting employed on those projects?
The community, the people who were based in the community
from Bethel
was getting it.
Right. Are those same people getting any kind of
nothing right about no, nothing. And that's creating the crime around Tobago because the contractors on them is not getting no work in Tobago and you all going in Trinidad and give contractors and work on them in Trinidad. So this now is creating an impact in Tobago right about now.
Right. If you take the jobs that were going to Tobago contractors before.
Yes.
The Tobago contractors were employing Tobagonians, people from right within this community. And you take away those jobs and you give it to companies from Trinidad, then the outcome will be that people will not get employment, the money will not circulate in the Tobago economy.
Quite correct.
And you will experience the kind of hardship we're experiencing now. Now, on top of that, you made a point earlier that they're not even paying the contractors them
at all.
Yeah, but you come in on Sesame Street to make totally false claims that this road, all this could have been done for $2 million.
Yeah.
As if Tobagonians do no money. So, I'm just here with the people of Bethel, and we're just remembering when Sesame Street used to be a track. A dirt track, and people could not pass and go all the way out to. That's what the Orange Hill Road out there?
Yeah.
Right. So, Trevor James and Terrence Baines focus and continue the development that the people of Tobago had in the past. You all asked for an opportunity to fix this. Fix it.
We now join our political leader and former Chief Secretary Ansel K. Dennis and former Infrastructure Secretary Kwesi Devines for a drive-through of the Sesame Street Road development.
So, this first part was a separate project
Correct.
This
And
asphalt part,
the
yeah.
asphalt part. And the road was not as wide as what you're seeing here. Actually, it was much narrower than this.
Oh, okay.
So the road had to be widened, and of course, this was
I'm coming back there. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Yeah, I'm coming back now.
Yeah, so this first part was widened a bit. Of course, this road wasn't like this. Much better asphalt surface.
Yeah, man.
So the first phase really was to make sure that one, we had a widened road, and two, we had proper drainage, a proper surface, that type of thing.
Right. So these were he meant when he attempted to give the impression that we paid two contractors for the same job.
I suppose so. I suppose so. You know, these guys tend to get very tricky.
Yes. Always attempting to
so this is
mislead.
basically the end of the road here in the past.
And then from here
So
now,
it's a brand new road.
it's a brand new road, separate project, different contractor.
Everything.
But obviously it will still be invoiced as Sesame Street.
Correct.
Because it is still Sesame Street.
Still Sesame Street.
So this is the concrete one that Trevor claims, should be done for 1.9 million according to his independent value.
I don't know if it's 1.9 million US or pounds, possibly. But all of this is brand new road, as I said before.
So what was
None
it
of
before?
This was greenfield. This was a track, literally a track. This was a track. There was a hop down. It was almost like a valley. You had to come down there. So it was like a track to come down here, and yeah, now you have a road that takes you all the way to Orange Hill Road. So it's a full connector road now, from in the heart of Bethel. In the heart of Bethel, you can now go. You're connecting Bethel to the Orange Hill Road, the Orange Hill Connector Road.
So one of the things we have to say to the people of Bethel is, remember when Sesame Street was a track?
Remember when there was a track?
Remember when there was no road here? But interestingly, that road Trevor built where he gave the contractor from Trinidad, the Ramnat guy, a contract for $25 million. Alright. To build a road in Moriah up on your side there.
Yes.
How much that road cost?
Well, you saw it was a 20-something million, but again, even when we had costed, we had included the cost of all surveys and designs were done.
Right.
So when I left the division, all surveys were already completed, so that was paid for. All designs were already completed, so that was paid for. So I don't know if that was again added into the final project sum, but it should not have been, because it was already done, and all of these people.
So these side streets are part of the project?
Yes, but all part of the project. So all of these people benefited as well.
Okay.
All of these people benefited. Here was just primarily dirt roads, if any at all.
I mean, these guys, Trevor James, and of course he has very appropriate company in Terrence Baines. They are so devious. They are so devious and so dangerous. So they built the project we just described in Moriah. Similar thing, concrete road.
Correct.
Same length as this or shorter?
Probably shorter.
Shorter than this,
yes.
with $25 million. But he's saying to the people of Tobago and the people of Bethel in particular, that this should have been done for $1.9 million.
And mind you, I think how much was the sidewalk in Crown Point?
That's still flooding. I think that was $3 million.
$3 million.
Stage in the sea.
All right.
$2 million.
Okay.
So this road should be the same value as the stage in the sea. Just imagine that. Trevor James need to fire his so-called independent valuator. As a matter of fact, he should fire himself.
Well, just about to say, I'm very sure the independent valuator he's talking about is himself. He loves to think himself as an A-class contractor, as he calls it. So.
Exactly.
I don't know which class that is. This is Maria.
Oh my God, really? Yeah. Okay. There was some lady who they said ambulance didn't get to her and stuff like that.
I think she's one of them in the video. That one of the ladies, but I think it was two of them. Okay. There were two circumstances.
Thank you for joining us in Bethel on this journey of Remember When. See you soon on another project at another location as we continue to highlight developmental milestones achieved under the Tobago Council of the People's National Movement.